Hello, I'm Claire from Bright Parks and Puppy School. In this video, we're going to be looking at careers within the animal industry. I've had plenty of job roles within my animal-related career, but there are so many more. So I've invited a few guests along to help explain a little bit about their job, what their jobs involve, what qualifications or experience they have, along with why they think working with animals is so fantastic. There are a large variety of jobs within the animal industry. Some that are much more hands-on, so need good practical skills, and others need a really strong academic background. One thing they all have in common, however, is the need for dedication and a huge love of animals. Usually the biggest skill when working with animals is people skills. Other people are always involved in animal care, such as fellow workers, owners, carers, other professionals and members of the public. Other important skills include customer service and support, empathy for bereavement, problem solving, time management and administration, as well as many others. It can be incredibly mentally, physically and emotionally draining to work with animals, but it actually is also huge fun, rewarding, heartwarming and totally inspiring. It's why I wouldn't do anything else. There are normally no qualification requirements for a kennel assistant role, although an animal care certificate or similar, along with work experience or voluntary work, is preferred. Once in the job role, however, willingness to grow and develop knowledge in both training and behaviour is encouraged, as this improves the lives of the animals under the care of the rescue. Some private kennels or large rescue associations provide funding for NVQ courses or similar for staff members. These are very, very practical roles and need good stamina, enthusiasm and a strong stomach, as there happens to be lots of pee and poo involved.
My name's Claire. I'm the kennel manager here at Animals in Distress Rescue Centre. I've worked with animals for about 28 years now. I started off working in a local boarding kennel, so looking after people's pets when they went away on holiday. Also there they took in local dogs from strays from the streets and rescue, and that's where I fell in love with the rescue side of things. Over the years I've worked in a veterinary environment where I learnt the medical side of it, which was really fascinating. But my heart has always belonged to rescue, and I've been back here for about 5 years now. Over the years, I've done courses in animal behaviour, canine behaviour and training. We've done agility courses. It's a field of work that you work in and have to keep learning along the way because it changes all the time. And we want to do what's best for these guys at the end of the day, so you have to learn more about them. Here at the rescue centre, it's quite relaxed, as you can see by my dog Nelson. Their day usually starts at about 8 o'clock in the morning, where we take them out for a morning wee and sometimes a poo, so that's a messy side of the job. They have their breakfast, we clean them out, then they go out for a nice walk around the lanes, taking some air, taking some sniffs. They go to bed at lunchtime for an hour with a tasty snack, either in a Kong or in their food bowl. Then they get up about 1:30 for the afternoon, where they then go either on agility paddocks or they go into a training room just to learn some basics like sit, give paw, just cuddle time really. It's all nice in the afternoon, and they're all ready for bed about 5 o'clock. In the summer they stay up till about 9 o'clock because it's really warm and they want to stay out longer. If any of you got any questions about working in rescue, then just give us a call and we'll try and answer them for you. Stay safe and speak soon. Thank you.
It is very competitive to get into one of the 8 vet schools in the UK, so high grades in the sciences and mathematics are essential both at GCSE and A-level. It is also important to have undertaken a good variety of work experience in advance of applying to vet school, as this will not only help with the application process, but also with the practical element of the course. Voluntary or paid work at local veterinary surgeries, at stables, on a farm, kennels and cattery, etc. will all provide good experience. Attendance at veterinary school is 5 years. The vet course is a demanding one academically, physically and emotionally. as well as a large amount of academic studying, practical experiences such as milking cows, lambing sheep, mucking out stables, cleaning kennels and seeing practice at other veterinary surgeries fill a large proportion of the course. Final qualification relies on both the written and practical exams, assessing both sets of skills essential to be a good veterinary surgeon.
Hi, I'm Amy and I'm a vet. This is my dog Capri and I work in small animal practice and I treat lots of dogs and cats and sometimes rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, that sort of thing. I always knew that I wanted to be a vet from about the age of 10. I went to the vet school in Edinburgh for 5 years to study to become a vet, and dogs are my favourite.
To become a registered veterinary nurse requires a great deal of study. Training is only able to be undertaken if the candidate already has a veterinary placement or employment within a Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons approved training practice. A Level 2 course completion is required if GCSE results are not up to the specified grades before moving on to the Level 3 course. The Level 3 course is 2.5 years long, where 1 day a week is on campus and the remaining 4 days in the workplace with the employer. There are also occasional block weeks throughout the course. The Level 3 course will teach students the operational requirements of a veterinary practice, veterinary nursing duties, anatomy, physiology, genetics, animal health, well-being and husbandry, supporting the supply of veterinary medicines, supporting veterinary anaesthesia and pre-operative and post-operative nursing care before finals exams and a practical assessment. A veterinary qualification can also lead on to other careers, which often include rehabilitation post-veterinary treatment or care of other species.
Hi there, so my name's Carly. I am currently a registered veterinary nurse and a canine hydrotherapist. I originally started off working with animals way back 25 odd years ago, and I started working in kennels. After that point I found a job in a local veterinary practice, and I worked my way up from being a receptionist and nursing assistant to becoming a qualified veterinary nurse. I did 3 years to qualify as a veterinary nurse, and I was then there in practice for about 18 years. Various different roles in that job, lots of operating assisting and helping with anaesthetics, medical nursing, surgical nursing, nursing clinics, massive array of different day-to-day things that you get in the job. And then 3 years ago I changed into rehabilitation for animals, and I now work as a qualified canine hydrotherapist. So I took a course to become qualified to be able to treat dogs with hydrotherapy, and we now see dogs for various different reasons. A lot of them can be post-operatively, so they've had some sort of surgery and they need help to recover, or our main ones that we see are dogs with arthritis, dogs of all ages really, both young and old, and the swimming helps to maintain their comfort and general well-being, and can help to increase the mobility and help them to walk better, feel more comfortable in themselves, and generally have a better way of life. So I work now at Paw for Paws at Ipple Pen near Newton Abbot. I've been here, like I say, for about 3 years. We also do various different things, so we do physiotherapy as well as the hydrotherapy, and we have lots of different techniques that we can use to help animals get better. So it's a great job to do. You get lots of variation, get to meet loads and loads of different dogs, which is always a big plus, and it's certainly an area that's growing in popularity, so it's also something to have a think about if you want to go into working with animals. Hope that all helps, guys, and hope it was okay. Thanks then, bye bye.
That's nice. Go on then, kid. You lazy boy.
Is he just letting you hold it?
You know, he's just flirting. Oh, this is actually quite nice.
This is quite nice. He's moving those front legs quite nicely, though.
That's lovely.
Good boy, Hops.
That's nice. Go on, sit
Good
away.
boy,
Come on,
Hops.
That's it. That's
Good
better.
boy.
Hey. Come on.
Good girl, Pop.
Okay, hello everybody. My name's Catherine Watts and I'm a veterinary physiotherapist and I'm going to just talk to you about how I got into this profession. So I went to university to study human physiotherapy to begin with. That was a 3-year course. And then I went on to vet college where I studied another 2 years. I did a master's, but you can also do that as a diploma. And now I'm a qualified veterinary physiotherapist and I'm allowed to treat any animal, but the main kind of bulk of my work is dogs and horses. So I see multiple conditions in both of the species. In dogs in particular, I see a lot of orthopedic problems, surgeries, illnesses, and often a lot of these are related to breeding and problems with particular types of breeds. So I give physiotherapy advice to owners about how to manage these conditions, and then what we do is work really closely with the vets, with behaviourists, with the nutritionists to get the best outcome for your pet. Okay, so once you're a qualified veterinary physiotherapist, there's different opportunities in terms of employment. So you can set up, like I did, independently, set up your own business. You can also join an already existing practice. You can also work at vet practices or at veterinary hospitals around the country. Working as a veterinary physiotherapist is really a rewarding career. It is hard work, however, and it does take a lot of dedication to get there, but I think it's well worth it.
Good boy. Come on, Walter. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Lovely. Nice. I'm hardly putting, I'm literally not pulling them up. Just up the tail. Good boy. Good boy. Look at those legs flying. Look at them flying. Look at them go. Good boy. Hoppy up. Good boy. He's getting tired. He's getting tired. Good boy. Yeah, lovely. So straight now when I look down at him.
The dog training world is largely unregulated at present, with no specified standards of education to become a dog trainer. However, there is a movement to regulate the industry to safeguard people and dogs by ensuring they are receiving advice from appropriately qualified people. Two such organisations who are trying to lead the way in promoting excellence for dog training are the APDT and the ABTC. To become a member of the APDT, the assessment process consists of 3 parts: a written assessment, a practical assessment, and an oral assessment. All 3 of the sections will be scored against a criteria which will include technical knowledge, understanding of dogs and people, conforming to the Association of Pet Dog Trainers Code of Practice, planning and organising, and communication skills. To become a member of the ABTC requires assessment by an assessor organisation, where standards of knowledge and practical skills are examined by representatives of the organisations. The ABTC also maintains the national registers of appropriately qualified animal trainers and animal behaviourists.
Hello, my name is Vicky Watts and I'm a dog trainer in Yeovil. I've been doing dog training now for about 3 years and I absolutely love it. Alongside the dog training, I also hand make dog toys, which is great because it means that when I'm working with my clients, I can show them the appropriate toy I think their dog would like, and then they go on and buy it, so it brings me in a little bit of extra income. I think I always knew I wanted to work with animals, or animals would always feature somewhere in my life. I always wanted a dog growing up, but unfortunately my parents were working, so it wasn't the right environment to bring a dog into. I did have a hamster though, and he was called Oscar, and he was such a sweet little thing. So when I left school, I attended a local college which was offering animal care as a qualification. So I spent 2 years working very hard to get my qualification there. Over those 2 years, I was offered a weekend role within the college itself, looking after all the animals, and this was shared between another person and myself. Unfortunately, when I left college, there weren't any animal care jobs around, so I worked in the supermarket, I've worked as a postman, I worked for a car showroom, so I've done lots of different jobs, and then 2 years later, when I left college, I was contacted by the college and I was asked if I would like to come in and interview as an animal technician. I got the job, and I stayed there for 14 years. I taught students how to handle animals, how to look after them properly. It was a fantastic job. I worked with lots and lots of different animals, ponies, donkeys, snakes, mice, rabbits, pigs, you name it, we pretty much had it. I then wanted to grow on the idea of training dogs. I got my first dog at 21. Or I should say I got my first pair of dogs at 21, and they had a few issues, so I learned lots about dogs and how I could help those guys. Fast forward all these years later, towards the end of working for the college, I undertook my puppy school qualification, which meant that I could teach new puppy owners and people that with puppies how to bring their puppy up in our world. And then it went on. I decided to leave the college and set up for doing dog walking, which became incredibly successful, very, very busy, very, very tiring. And then I also wanted to offer some sort of dog training alongside that as well. And it's only really been over the last year that the dog walking has taken a bit of a back step, and I've been doing much more dog training now, which is lovely, and it means that I get to work with people on a one-to-one basis and really help them with their dogs. So I hope that helps you guys with your potential of looking into an animal care job. Thank you very much.
The APBC is an international network of experienced and qualified animal behaviour counsellors. The APBC invites applications from individuals with a Level 5 foundation degree or a Level 6 degree or above that have specialised in companion animal behaviour. Other behaviour organisations also require high academic qualifications before assessment to become a member. With regulation, only members of these organisations will be able to treat behaviour cases alongside veterinary referral.
Hello, my name is Catherine Tomlinson and I am a clinical animal behaviourist based down in Taunton, Somerset. I've been a member of the Association for Pet Behaviour Counsellors for the last 13 years, and I'm also on the registry for clinical animal behaviourists under the Animal Behaviour Training Council. I see a variety of cases, mainly dogs, and in particular I specialise in dogs that are struggling to cope with their environment, mainly when they see other dogs and other people. As a young girl, I was obsessed with caring for animals and I desperately wanted a dog. And at the age of 14, my mum and dad gave me my first dog, and she was from a local rescue centre and came with a lot of baggage and had many problems. And it was here that I first became passionate about animal behaviour. And I went to Sheffield University to find out more about animal behaviour and animal welfare, and after completing my 3-year degree at Sheffield, I went on to study a Masters of Science in Applied Animal Behaviour and Welfare, and this was at the University of Edinburgh. In order to become a recognised clinical animal behaviourist and have cases referred to me by local vets and rescue centres, I needed to become a full member of the Association for Pet Behaviour Counsellors. And I achieved this in 2008 after submitting several case studies that I wrote up on a variety of cases involving dogs and that were showing different behaviour problems. In these case studies, I showed clients what was happening with their dog, how it had developed over time, what had initiated it, and what was causing that behaviour to continue occurring. And from finding out this information, I was able to then design a behaviour modification programme that included management techniques as well as training techniques, so that the owners could work with me to help their dog overcome problems or to get them to a more manageable level. Since 2008, after becoming a full member of the Association for Pet Behaviour Counsellors, I am now completely self-employed and I see a variety of cases every day. I'm specialising in dogs and I will see dogs that are struggling to cope when left alone, or they may involve some training problems, like they may not come back when called or maybe jumping up, to dogs that are struggling to cope with their environment when they see other dogs and people or traffic. I love what I do. It's different every single day. All dogs are unique, and it challenges me. I love working with people as well. I love helping them, giving them information to understand their dogs better, so that we can help provide for their behaviour needs. I wouldn't do any other job apart from this. It's been hard getting to be recognised, and I continuously do continuous professional development in order to better my understanding, so I can provide a better service for the clients that come to me.
Assistance charities include Hearing Dogs for Deaf People, Canine Partners, Dogs for Good, Guide Dogs and Medical Detection Dogs. Each organisation sets its own entry requirements for a job vacancy. However, as with other animal jobs, it's useful to have experience within the animal care world before applying. Knowledge of basic dog handling, training and behaviour management methods are also useful, and it's also important to have an understanding of the issues faced by people with disabilities. There is an element of on-the-job training, so often learning starts from the care of the dogs to training the dogs and then training people and their dogs. Assistance dog tasks include tugging shoes, socks and clothing off, opening and shutting doors, getting the post, raising the alarm in an emergency and retrieving dropped items, as well as getting items from the fridge, lifting legs onto bed and so much more.
Hi everyone, my name's Hannah and Claire has asked me to make a short video just to let you know my experiences as an assistance dog trainer. This is Arlo. He's an ex-assistance dog and he lives with me now in his retirement. He's a bit stinky and a bit tired, but hopefully he'll just lie there. You might see him roll on his back. I didn't come through knowing that I wanted to be a dog trainer. I started life in media and I worked in film and TV for quite a long time, and in the fashion industry. But alongside all that, any time I was wanting to do anything to have some downtime, it was always working with dogs. So I'd been volunteering at my local rescue centre, walking dogs and helping. So it's always been my hobby. And then I decided to make a career change, and so I went down the academic route, and I went to college and did it at night school alongside my main job that was paying my rent. So I did study alongside working. So it took me quite a long time, but I finally managed to get an academic qualification that we call level 4, and I was able to set up a small dog training business and start my career in dog training. And then I found puppy school, which was the best thing I ever did, and I moved to working with them. And then alongside that, I applied for a job with a national assistance dog charity, and I got it, which I was quite surprised about. But that's how I ended up doing the work that I do now. What does an assistance dog trainer do? And to answer that, it's about understanding a little bit about the large assistance dogs organisations, because there are quite a few separate areas that you can work with within a large assistance dog charity that work alongside dogs. So we have trainers that work in our puppy team, and they're there to supervise the pups at that very important developmental period until they come into our centres. We have 2 centres, and their training continues on site with our advanced trainers. And alongside that, we've got kennel staff who look after our dogs while they're in training, and then my role is working once the dogs are placed and with their recipient. So I work to train new tasks, to help keep that partnership together, and to help with any problems that crop up, because they're dogs and things do happen. They're more than a pet, they are a lifeline, and I have seen and worked with people who have had a really difficult time connecting with society, maybe being discriminated against because of their disability. Having their dog, having their assistance dog, has opened up a completely different avenue to their world. They have found independence and freedom that without that dog they wouldn't have had that opportunity. So that's what keeps me in this job. It's incredibly rewarding. I absolutely love it. Working day in and day out with the dogs and the recipients of our dogs, it's incredibly emotional. We get very connected to everybody, and it also means that I develop very much as a trainer. There's lots of different things that come up because of the partners and the people that I work with. The conditions that I work with are quite progressive, so that means that things can change, and that means that the person might need additional help from their dog, and I have to think up ways to make that happen. So it's made me a very creative trainer, and it's helped me work with a range of people with different physical abilities to ensure that I'm able to get the best out of that person and the best out of that dog. So that's why I love it, that's why I stay, and I hope that if you're thinking about going down this route to work with assistance dogs, that you found this helpful, and yeah, good luck.
Thanks for watching.